Hey guys, it's Jardier coming to you over official Overtake channel. Today we're gonna be talking about the best GT3 cars in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Assetto Corsa Competizione is perfect for sim racers. With its sole focus on a GT racing, the game is unique in many ways. It allows players to pick up much needed time behind a wheel of GT3 and GT4 cars. And the particular arrangement of cars makes sure you get the optimal experience from those hours you put in. But what are some of the best GT3 cars in Assetto Corsa Competizione? What is the most important when picking up your car of a choice? In this video, we will cover different aspects like performance under different conditions, like rain, and strength on the individual cars. Assetto Corsa Competizione is a rewarding game for people who know their car. For that to happen, I really recommend sticking with the one car, your favorite one, at the beginning and really learn ins and outs of the car. It seems like the best option to start with the safer cars at the start. Something that teaches you the basic and works well for the inexperienced drivers. For example, Aston Martin V8, Ferrari 488 or even Bentley Continental. These cars provide great base to get you on the top of the podium. It can just take a little bit more time for practice. Don't just jump from car to see improvement immediately. If you go from Porsche to Aston Martin to McLaren, you will have 3 different cars that feel almost completely different on every track. Especially getting used to different setup changes can be really tricky. Some changes can take plenty of time to get correct and to learn them correctly. There is certainly something most players have to learn along the way. But at the start, finding the perfect car for you can mean the difference between enjoying the game and hating it. When it comes to the decision of choosing a car, the front-engine cars are a good choice for beginners. They are very safe in the handling, on the bumps and curbs, and in the very challenging conditions and different racetracks, they are very safe to drive as well. They are ideal for beginners. Some more powerful cars like Nissan GT-R tend to go from understeer to oversteer a lot. This can lead to frustration as newer racers will struggle for a grip on the tracks like Suzuka, for example. This problem is usually connected with the raw speed of the car. Cars with better handling, like Aston Martin, will be easier to manage on a loose control, but compared to high-power cars, you will lose on Monza or Paul Ricard. You will have to find the right balance between being comfortable and being fast. Just think about it, most of the time, being comfortable will lead to being fast. Recently, as it takes a lot of time to adjust to different settings, people started using unconventional cars. Some cars almost only work on specific racetracks, like the Honda NSX. While the car is very hard to set up and get optimal performance, it's really favored by BOP on the tracks like Mount Panorama, Kalami or Suzuka. It's because the Honda behaves very well in the tight corners and it has the extreme power of the engine on straights. Another good example for this is Lexus. Most of the people don't use Lexus because it's not super powerful on some of the tracks, but it's the killer car in any rain or wet or changing conditions. The car is so easy to drive because of the front engine and has amazing enormous traction in these conditions. While some cars provide a very narrow field of use like Lexus or Honda NSX, the Porsche 911 is basically a winning car on about 10 or 12 tracks in Assetto Corsa that it has to offer. If the driver is experienced, if you know how to set up the car correctly, and he can adapt to the crazy behavior of the Porsche in some of the situations, the car is probably the most powerful in the game, especially from acceleration from the corners. It's essential to know what you aim for. So let's imagine a little scenario. For example, you like high-speed tracks, like Monza. So for this track, you need to do little check boxes. You need a car that is really strong on the straight, because that's where you want to do the overtakes. To finish those overtakes, because there is a heavy braking zones, you need good brakes on the car. And third, your car needs to take a hit or survive the hits, because there's a lot of chicanes and you need to take all the curbs really heavily, like Ascari for example, and the first 2 chicanes. For this kind of race, the Mercedes-AMG is ideal car. It has a front engine, it has an enormous speed and you can attack over the curbs with no problem. For a high-speed track, it's genuinely an OP car. A car that is never out of place is Ferrari 488. To me, it's like the most reliable car in any league you can take, because usually, let's say you're doing a league with 10 rounds of the races, the Ferrari is literally the most usable car for any conditions, any track, because it's always in the top. The decision is really up to you. You can go for a safe car and reliable like Ferrari 488, or you can go for niche car like Lexus, which is killer in the rain, or you can go for 911 Porsche, which is probably the most OP car in the game, but it's probably also the hardest to set up. If you're going to be jumping from car to car, it's going to be really hard to find your ideal car. But if you give us some time to the settings of the car, getting used to it, you will find the big reward there. When thinking of all the aspects, the Ferrari is like a good all-arounder. It works on most of the tracks, most of the conditions, it's easy to drive and takes care of the tires. For me, it's a perfect car of the choice. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like. My name is Jardier and have a great day. Bye bye guys!